I've been broadcasting Winona State football games for 5 years now, but something has always been missing. I've always wondered what it felt like to put the helmet and pads on. I've always wondered what it really felt like to be a Warrior. I decided now was my time to find out. The first step was to get fitted for pads.
It's in the middle of your chin, okay? It's pretty simple. So why don't you try and put the helmet back on.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Nate, you want to grab a mouth guard for him too when you get time? Good, lace this over the top, watch your nose. Okay, so we're looking. You're looking underneath, we're looking for that shoulder to be tucked underneath the pad. Okay, so this one's going to fit him perfectly.
Some of our initial concerns about this tryout were quickly solved. Well, you know, we're getting everything, getting ready, getting all the uniforms going. Seems to be okay. See, we were worried that we wouldn't find pads for me, but we found some. So. When I got all my gear, I had to learn a little bit about the team, so I sat in on a quarterbacks meeting before practice.
Post is going to be doubled. Dig is going to be doubled. Okay, let's take a look and see if that's what happens. Okay, now what happened? Safety got deep.
Now I was finally ready to go, and it was time to take the field with the Warriors.
Right, left, go.
To start practice, we began with the morning warm-up.
That's right. Chad's on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chad. There we go.
After warming up with the wide receivers, it was time to join the rest of the offense on Maxwell Field.
Justin, this one's 1, 2, 3. And then you're going on your slant.
Switch the guys around. Set, go, left hand, right hand, on the hip. Good, here we go, set, next one, ready. Yeah, the end over here. Set, go. There it is, good, do it again, third rep, here we go. Set, front shoulder, go. Yo!
After a few hours of practice, the coaches decided to have a little fun. They matched me up with All-American safety Luke Lokang.
Fight hands, fight hands.
Get off him, Justin! What the hell kind of route is that?
What are you doing? Get off the line.
Well, Luke put me in my place, but I still had some time to prove myself.
Yeah, take that thing. Coming right now. Oh! All right. Set. Oh! Hit him a little bit. Good. Shoot go!
I know it's different in the NFL.
Yeah.
I know it's different.
It was a lot of hard work, but after my day of practice, I truly felt like I was a Winona State Warrior.
I have been to regionals a few times. I've never really went past regionals, but this year I did, and I was so happy. I mean, it was just such a relief to make it.
On May 10th, Lexi Ramler, a gymnast that trains at Kids Sport here in Winona, will be competing in the Level 10 2012 JO National Championships in Virginia. This will be Lexi's first trip to nationals.
Last year she had a super meet, and she, in fact, had she fallen once on bars, she would have gone to nationals last year too. But she fell twice, and it was just that moment of the first time.
But this year she did qualify, fourth in regionals behind 3 gymnasts who are members of clubs that have sent gymnasts to the Olympics. So what is Coach Murray expecting from Lexi at nationals?
I think what we're going to try and do is just have a real positive experience, train hard, and have, you know, at this time of the season, we're not looking for any, generally, you're not looking for any really big changes. It's all little tiny tweaks, tiny verbal cues anymore. Don't have big corrections to make any longer. You just want to get more of the same.
And it's more of the same schedule of training that helped Lexi improve enough to take the next step.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I do morning practice, and then after morning practice on those days I go back to school, and then I go back to practice after school again, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I just do practice after school, and then competitions sometimes are on the weekends mainly, so it doesn't really interfere with my school. But otherwise, if I don't have competitions, I mainly go back to my house and see my dad and my brother and stuff.
Tomorrow we'll see some of Lexi's regional performances and hear how she came to Winona and Kidsport. For HBC TV 25 Sports, I'm Justin Barrientos. The Winona State University baseball team struggled early in the Division II championship game against the West Florida Argonauts. Starting pitcher Cody Simon was hit hard early as the Argonauts scored 4 runs in the first inning off Simon. That was just like Thursday when the Warriors fell behind Southern Connecticut State, but this time the Warriors were not able to come back and they continued to give up runs to the 5th-ranked team in the country. Simon surrendered 7 runs on 9 hits and 4 innings on the mound.
I just went out there, I struggled a little bit with location. I was getting behind on the hitters a lot, and then it made me throw the ball basically down the middle, and every time you do that against a good team, obviously they're going to hit it. So.
Meanwhile, the Argonauts shut down the Warrior offense thanks to good defense and dominant pitching from Daniel Vargas Vila. Vargas Vila struck out 7 Warriors on the day and gave up just 2 runs late in the game. Tony Mueller was a bright spot for the Warriors, going 3 for 4. Mueller was named to the All-Tournament team along with Kyle Sill and Cody Strang, and was also named the co-most outstanding player along with West Florida's Daniel Vargas Vila. Post-game, as expected, emotions on the Warriors side ran high.
It's a great thing for our program. It's excuse me. Some of our seniors have worked hard for. It's been a goal of our program to get to this level, compete. We think we do a pretty good job at Winona State in baseball. It's been a program that's been successful for years. NCAA-wise, we've not been to this point, so it's a great feather in our cap, I think, for that. People recognize that this is a program that does things the right way. We get kids that are good kids, good students, and very good baseball players.
The Warriors finished the season runners-up in Division II with a record of 42-18, which ties the school record for wins in a season, but gives them the best finish to a season in school history. With more on the West Florida victory, here's HBC's Eric Lear. Sitting in on Winona State men's basketball practice on Wednesday, the day after it was announced that guard Grant Johnson was declared ineligible by the NCAA, it didn't seem like anything had changed, and that's just the way head coach Mike Leaf wants it.
No changes. I think that's something that would be drastic. Right now we're doing a lot of the same things. I think that's the maybe some distractions, outside distractions. A lot of people in the town of Winona was talking a lot about it. But for us, it's we come in here, we get after it in practice, and people will talk about all 4 games, and that's just not the way to do things. If you think beyond, you're doomed to fail. So we've got to look at it the same way we have all season long. And yes, some things have happened to us, but we've got to calm those things down and know that we've got a talented group of young men. We play well together. There's good chemistry that's out there on the floor, and others can step it up and get it done. And I think that talks about the character of Winona State basketball.
Grant Johnson was declared ineligible by the NCAA for this season due to a problem with his transfer from UW-Parkside. They didn't officially release him, and WSU officials didn't correctly follow up to make sure that he could suit up for the Warriors this season. Johnson took the court at the beginning of the year thinking that his transfer had been completed. He played 19 games for the Warriors before UW-Parkside informed Winona State that Johnson may be ineligible because they didn't release him.
It's one of those things where you first of all, because so many of us had no idea it was coming, that it was a shock, and it's right off the bat, it's devastating, and then it sinks in, and then you become angry, and then after that you start to get a little depressed because you've worked so hard, and You know, I use this comparison like of a C.J. Erickson, who's a senior for us, and he's worked so hard in the off season and to get where he's at. We've gone, you know, how many months in a row here, and we've got some great successes, and all of a sudden, bang, something like this happens. So obviously, it has an effect on our coaches and on our players as well. And like I said, it was devastating.
Normally, a situation is when a particular player contacts us and says that, and they're going to be a transfer from another four-year institution. There's a form that we send out, and there's check marks on there and explanations on there that gives him a release for us, first of all, to talk to him, and then second of all, eventually to whether or not he would be eligible or not be eligible. As in fact we got the permission as we needed to talk to him, there were some other things on that sheet of paper that by the time it looked like he was maybe going to, as he was contacting other people, this was the choice of what he's going to make, and we needed to go back and look at that sheet of paper again and some other information that we had now gathered on him, and maybe cross-reference that, and then see that parts of that were such that would have been a red flag for us, and that was missed. It's out there. It's kind of putting more burden on their shoulders, because obviously at the stage that they were when this all came out, they were even in the top driver's seat for everything that's happened. You know, and I want to make sure people understand that this is our coaches, our team, and our players, and the student athlete involved in this have done nothing wrong. They just followed up on what they were told, what we thought was right at the time when the decision was made. And so they've just, they're the ones that unfortunately have to carry the burden, and we're certainly hoping that our loyal fans that have been that way will come out and continue to support them on their efforts to have an outstanding season.
Now that the Warriors have an answer on Johnson's eligibility question for this season, they know what they have to replace and what they need to do to extend their season.
Grant was second leading scorer. He was right up there in rebounds, and now you've got somebody else that's stepping in there that may not do those same things. So you have to make some adjustments, but that happens all year long. And but the thing is, the goals stay the same. It's unfortunate we're not going to be able to host a regional, but again, we had to get to that point. But now it just won't be there. So we've got to do some things on the road, and I think we're a heck of a ball team at both at home and on the road. So things just have to change. The psyche's got to change, and obviously there's a little bit more motivation, and knowing that it is playoff time for us right now. We can't lose. We cannot lose. So you've got to play as if it may be your last game. We've been through this like when you're playing for a national championship, and media is a big part of it. I think just going to classes and you know, having people walking down the sidewalk and yelling their names out, or you know, talking about it, and it's just brought up over and over and over again. And so you're going to have that, but sometimes that's a good pressure. You can turn those things into a good pressure, knowing that you have to perform in pressure situations, and we try and teach that during the course of the year. This is a little bit of a different type of pressure. It wasn't the death penalty. We have control of our destiny. At one point in time, I didn't have control, and now I've got it back. So we at least know what's ahead of us and what we need to do.
He brings electrifying. He's a great scorer, passer. He's a great defender. He can dribble. He's lightning fast, probably easily the fastest on our team. And I mean, we need him, whether he's starting to come off the bench, we need that spark plug, and I think he provides great offense for us. Well, when he's open, we know it's going to go up, and 9 times out of 10 is going to go in, especially if he's open. I mean, he works extremely hard in this game, and he's very confident. I think it shows on the court.
Yeah, Xander, you know, I tell Xander he's got that $1 million smile, and for someone who is around that 5'9", 5'10" area, it's a little difficult when you get into the paint and have to do those things. But you know, I tell you what, Xander is extremely quick. If there's any type of a full court press that's on, he's got the abilities to break that press. He's turned himself into a tremendous three-point shooter, and there's no question at the end of the year, fully expect him to be above 50% from the three. And he chooses his shots pretty well. And I think this has developed over the years. You know, in the summertime, he spends his summers here, and he's in the gym working out with the gun and with teammates, and he just aspires to do really, really well. And he's one of the, if not the quickest guy on our team. So he brings a lot to the table, and we've been bringing him off the bench and giving us a spark. And you know, it's something where you just can't let up when he comes into the ball game. You've got to really you know, buckle down, because he's that quick and he can score that well. Well, Xavier is, you know, he's you know, not a flashy player by any means, but I tell you, he's such a down-to-earth young man, and you know, what I love about him is whatever he does. It could be playing basketball, or it could be, you know, playing a ping pong game against somebody. He wants to win, and you know, you just see it in him that anything that he ends up doing with his life, he's going to be great at it. And Xavier's the kind of guy that is always under control. He keeps everybody at ease. He's a tremendous finisher at the basket, and he's one of our best three-point shooters. And when he first came into our program, you know, he was a nice defensive specialist, but we knew that he had the abilities to score as well. So he's done that over the last few years, and like I said, we normally will put him, either he or Kellen Taylor, on the best offensive player of our opponents, and at the same time, he's also a great threat, taking it to the hole and knocking down threes for us. So all around, a great player, great guy, and a great teammate.
First, you know, that's my best friend, you know, so he's a great teammate. Been playing with him for, I think, 5 years now. We did 1 year of AAU together, so just a great guy, always works hard. Great on the defensive end, we're always pushing each other, and we even get into it sometimes, just being competitors, and that's one thing I love about him, you know. He pushes me and I push him, so it's a great relationship on and off the court.
Again, the two are almost inseparable. They're just best of friends, and they've always got things to talk about, and it's, you know, you listen to them, it's always such a great positive, may it be, you know, watching football over the weekend or it's upcoming games. But you just see there's still a little rivalry between them, where they do push each other, where they're guarding each other in practice, and they'll do a little jawing at each other, and but that's in good spirit. But you know, over the years that they've been here, they have worked hard together. They've got goals for themselves and what they've wanted to do since they've been here. And like I said, they've been just a great addition to our program. And you know, we've got the year to go, but it'll be tough when we see those two leave Winona State. But they're just great citizens and great ball players.